Did you know a single day can rewrite the rules of global power? On January 3, 2026, the world woke up to stunning news. The United States launched a military operation inside Venezuela, a full-scale strike on Caracas named Absolute Resolve. The primary target, Venezuelan leader Nicolas Maduro. By dawn, Maduro was captured, his wife, Cilia Flores, too. Delta Force executed the raid, with CIA intelligence support. The detainees were flown to New York within hours. They were arraigned on U.S. charges, including narco-terrorism and conspiracy. This climax followed months of mounting pressure, including strikes on alleged drug trafficking vessels in late 2025. The implications were immediate, shaking international relations. For the first time since Panama in 1989 and the capture of Manuel Noriega, Washington removed a head of state, though the U.S. had not recognized Maduro as legitimate. President Donald Trump then said the U.S. would run Venezuela during a transition. He offered no timeline. He also flagged U.S. companies to develop Venezuela's vast oil sector. Back in Caracas, a state of emergency and heavy patrol set the tone, a power vacuum, and a city holding its breath. The capture of Nicolas Maduro sent a shockwave through the international community, splitting responses along familiar and new fault lines. Reactions were swift, loud, and deeply polarized. Most European capitals, and North America, especially NATO allies, backed the operation. They framed it as a decisive move against a corrupt regime, accepting Washington's justification. But a powerful chorus of condemnation rose from the global south. Latin America, Africa, Asia. China called it a blatant use of force violating sovereignty and international law. On January 4th, key Latin nations issued a joint rejection. Brazil, Mexico, Chile, Colombia, plus others. The UN warned of a dangerous precedent and urged full respect for the UN Charter. Legal experts concluded it breached foundational principles of international law. Rules forged after World War II suddenly looked fragile. Beneath the legal arguments and geopolitics lies a tangible driver: oil. Venezuela isn't just any country. It holds the world's largest proven reserves and over 300 billion barrels, roughly 17% of the global total. The Trump administration made clear it wants U.S. firms rebuilding Venezuela's oil sector. Officials framed triple goals: remove Maduro, disrupt drug routes, unlock oil. They also revived claims that past nationalizations stole assets from U.S. companies. Interests extend to gold and rare earths critical to modern tech. Many see the operation serving geopolitical, security, and economic aims. If U.S. companies gain control, energy markets could be reshaped. A rapid influx of Venezuelan crude might push prices down, benefiting importers, pressuring producers. That includes Russia and OPEC states. Caribbean nations reliant on Venezuelan supply would scramble. Energy security maps would be redrawn. Direct corporate involvement under U.S. protection sets a striking precedent. It could embolden some investors and harden China and Russia's resolve abroad. Venezuela becomes a test case for a more transactional order backed by force, where the spoils are openly claimed. The raid sent a chilling message across Latin America, a region scarred by past interventions, old patterns, new scale. Analysts see a redefined Monroe Doctrine, what some dub the Trump corollary, from blocking outsiders to unilateral intervention by the U.S. itself. A regional rightward tilt may ease alignment, but unease runs deep. If it happened in Caracas, who is safe? Short-term, caution. Long-term, resentment, and a search for counterweights. That likely means more room for China and Russia in the hemisphere. Yet a fragile diplomatic channel has opened. Venezuela moved to explore restoring diplomatic missions with the U.S. Trump said both sides are working well, especially on oil and gas, while U.S. assets remain surged. It's a delicate dance. Caracas staves off force, Washington manages fallout. The stakes: international law, vital resources, and regional security. What do you think happens next? Tell us below. Will diplomacy guide a managed transition, or will talks collapse into wider instability? Comment your top concern: breach of law, scramble for oil, or regional security risks.